Israeli Foreign Ministry has issued a statement condemning the International Criminal Court for issuing arrest warrant against war criminals Benjamin Netanyahu and his defense minister Yoav Gallant. Everything is fine here except the fact that this condemnation was issued by mistake because the ICC has not issued any arrest warrant against Netanyahu or his defense minister yet. The statement by the Israeli Foreign Ministry was posted on its website before it was taken down after everybody started sharing that on social media. The statement read, and I quote, "The state of Israel rejects the absurd and shameful decision of the International Criminal Court, ICC, in The Hague to approve the issuance of arrest warrants against the Prime Minister and the Minister of Defense of the State of Israel. The decision to issue arrest warrants for the leaders of a democratic country defending itself against a murderous terrorist attack shows that the court has lost its way and that it has become a political tool that serves terrorist organizations in their war against democracies." End of quote. This was the statement issued by the Israeli Foreign Ministry. Now one wonders why the Israeli Foreign Ministry would screw up this spectacularly. Is it the fear of arrest warrants that's been haunting Israeli war criminals? Or it's a case of preemptive propaganda run by Mossad? We all know that Mossad has historically snooped on key international bodies such as the ICC and the International Court of Justice, ICJ. Maybe Mossad agents have stumbled upon something in the ICC that we are not aware of yet. It's been 4 months since Chief Prosecutor Karim Khan filed the application for arrest warrants against Israeli criminals and 3 Hamas leaders, 2 of whom are no longer alive. It's also not a mere coincidence that journalists around the world working for top global outlets have suddenly begun talking about the ICC arrest warrants and how they could be issued any time now. Only a few days ago, this question was asked to war criminal Anthony Blinken when he visited London.
And Shane Tandon from AFP.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Foreign Secretary. Secretary Blinken, could I ask you about a couple of aspects of the Middle East? The Israel Defense Forces just a moment ago released an investigation, or released some preliminary findings into the death of an American citizen, Miss Eisenor Enyegi. Could you say, they said that she was killed most likely by Israeli fire, but unintentionally. Are you confident with that assessment? Does the United States want to see anything further? Are you confident with the assessment that this was unintentional? And what more do you want Israel to do? Could there be repercussions? For both of you, could I ask you about the International Criminal Court? It seems that in the coming days there could be a formal decision on whether to seek an arrest warrant for Prime Minister Netanyahu, among others. Mr. Foreign Secretary, the Labour government, of course, has taken a slightly different stance from your predecessors, from the Conservatives on this. Could you say what your position is, whether you support going ahead, and is there unity between the two allies on this? Thank you.
Sean, thank you very much. With regard to the tragic killing of Eisenor, I think what we saw of this investigation is it seems to show what eyewitnesses have said and made clear, that her killing was both unprovoked and unjustified. No one should be shot and killed for attending a protest. No one should have to put their life at risk just for freely expressing their views. In our judgment, Israeli security forces need to make some fundamental changes in the way that they operate in the West Bank, including changes to their rules of engagement. We've long seen reports of the security forces looking the other way when extremist settlers use violence against Palestinians. We've seen reports of excessive force by Israeli security forces against Palestinians. And now we have the second American citizen killed at the hands of Israeli security forces. It's not acceptable. It has to change. And we'll be making that clear to the senior-most members of the Israeli government. Now, we're looking carefully at the results of this investigation, but even on an initial read, and even accepting it at face value, it's clear that there are serious issues that need to be dealt with, and we will insist that they be dealt with.
I think the important thing to stress in great democracies such as ours is our belief in the separation of powers. There is an important forum for lawyers and the judiciary and our courts, and then there is also an important forum for politicians and those who represent the people. We've always been clear in the UK in our belief in the international rule of law, the rules-based order, and in IHL issues which are fundamentally important. And we took a decision last week in relation to arms exports that were quasi-legal on the basis of our law as they stand. We believe in international law, we believe in the Statute of Rome, but these must be decisions for the international courts to determine. I don't want to comment on the assessment that they will reach. I qualified as a lawyer in part because of the great Harvard Law School, but I'm going to leave it to the lawyers to determine these very complex matters.
Only last week, on Thursday to be precise, America's disgraceful veto woman, Linda Thomas Greenfield, she was asked the same question at a function.
I wanted to ask about the International Court of Justice decision ruling that Israel's occupation is illegal and must end, and ordering member states, including the United States, to end support for Israel that assists their settlements, as well as the impending arrest warrant against Netanyahu and the Israeli foreign minister. Are you going to abide by the International Court of Justice orders? Are you going to arrest Netanyahu and the foreign minister if he turns up in the United States? And, what is your feeling on these international court rulings?
Let me start with the last part of that. We have a problem with the court's ruling, and we've been clear that we have a problem with the court's ruling. And I think you know the answer to the question about whether we will arrest President Netanyahu. He was here in the United States a few weeks ago, and he was not arrested. The warrant was out before that. Okay, well, let me be clear. We will not arrest him. And because we have a question about the jurisdiction of the ICC on Israel, and we've made that very, very clear.
The embarrassing goof up by the Israeli Foreign Ministry could also be a sign that the rogue regime is panicking, because the country finds itself under immense pressure due to its genocidal campaign in Gaza and the occupied West Bank. The country had become a laughing stock on Sunday when it could not stop Houthis from successfully hitting Tel Aviv with their hypersonic missile. The issuance of the press release mistakenly by the Israeli Foreign Ministry could either be a preemptive propaganda by Mossad or indeed an accidental revelation of a key development from The Hague in the coming days. That's it from me. Thank you very much for your support on buymecoffee.com and Patreon for this platform. If you too think that this news platform is worth supporting, then you too should consider becoming part of this movement. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.